In this episode of Building Dreams Together, I sit down with my wife, Meredith, of over 50 years. The conversation isn't polished and it isn't rehearsed, it's real. We talk about marriage, resentment, healing, and the years that were hard and the years that we grew and what we both learned about staying connected even when life pulled us in different directions. So whether you're married, rebuilding, or growing as a family, this episode is an invitation to look at your relationships with honesty, compassion, and a willingness to show up again and again. Because building dreams together doesn't happen in the easy moments. It happens when two people choose to understand each other, even when it's hard. Welcome to Building Dreams Together, a podcast about connection, courage, and the daily actions that turn dreams into reality. Whether you're building your dream, rebuilding after a storm, or just looking for inspiration to take the next step, you're in the right place. This is Building Dreams Together. You've been with me through all the ups and downs of life, all of the things that we've created, the joys, the sorrows, the wins, the losses.
Yep.
And I welcome you to this program. Today, we're going to talk about what it takes to build dreams together.
Well, let me just thank you for inviting me.
Sure.
I wasn't expecting this, but it's fun. It's fun watching you in action. So I'm honored.
Yeah, well, you remember I talked about this
A while ago.
a long time ago, wanting to create a podcast that's meaningful, that can make a difference in people's lives.
Yeah.
And when you see me in action, when you have lived with me over the last, I'm only going to go 2 years, about just this idea.
Right.
When the idea came and
The believe become the you.
yeah, what happened for you? Share, honestly.
What happened for me?
Yeah.
I started going into a bit of resentment. I wasn't, well, in the beginning, I actually encouraged you to work with kids because you stopped doing anything for a couple of years and you were bored. Being retired, so to speak. You never really retired, but having nothing to really do for a couple of years was really boring for you. You used to pace around the house, and that was not good for me. I was used to you going to work and being out of the house and having my house to myself, and here you were just always in the house when you weren't playing golf or whatever, and it was boring to you. You weren't happy. So I remember saying, I know you always work with adults, but I thought it would be a good idea to work with kids because I saw that kids were suffering. I was watching, I don't even remember back then, but I got this sense that children really needed something and could use what you had to offer. And I encouraged you to go in that direction. And you started and you never stopped. You were like a railroad train. You just went, full blast. You're the bullet train. That's all I could say. I've never seen anybody like you that can take an idea and just plow through it and bring it to fruition with so much passion and love for what you're doing. And it's really been beautiful to watch. On the other hand, as a wife and at a stage of life that we're at, I thought we'd be traveling, spontaneous, jump in the car, go for a drive, do this, do that. I don't know what it would have looked like. Maybe it would have been none of that. So I became a little resentful of that you got so involved with the program. And sometimes I still feel that way. Sometimes. But I am proud of you. I'm proud of what you're doing.
I get that. And I hear you. And I think what I would say is that, we have conversation about it. We talk. We listen to each other. We respect each other. I express to you how important it is and what it means for me and what it means for me now.
Yeah.
We are in Sean's condo. I've turned it into the home of the I Believe in Me Foundation. And we're sitting here talking about this program. And he was still with us when we started this.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm not sure if all the listeners understand that Sean was our son that passed away.
talk about that.
On November 20th will be 1 year. I just came back from, Sean passed away from fentanyl. And it started many years ago. He was in his late 20s. He had a chairlift at a ski mountain ram into his back. And back then they gave patients Oxycontin. And I'm sure everybody has watched like the series like Dope Sick or whatever to understand that it made addicts out of our children, out of adults, out of doctors, out of millions of people. My son, our son, was one of those people. And it's been a struggle for him. And for most of it, he's been functioning, but he's also an addict. And he went to treatment 2 years ago. He was doing beautifully. He found a beautiful girlfriend, and life seemed to be really good. But Jack and I, well, we did not know that he relapsed. So it's been a heartbreak for our family. We have 4 sons. My children lost their brother. My nieces and my grandchildren lost an uncle. We lost a child. It's extremely difficult. It's hard for me to be in this condo because I remember when Sean bought this condo, and I remember the things that, the dream, the vision, visiting him here. I just have a lot of memories here. I wasn't here all the time. It wasn't as if I was here all the time, but we were very close with our kids, very close with Sean, very close with our boys. And
we are still.
And we
still are.
No, we still are.
What do you think Sean would say now? What do you think Sean's telling us right now, sitting here, knowing that he wrote that message in 2013?
I remember reading it in a book.
I want to transform the lives of children. I want to give them an experience they never thought possible.
And at the very bottom, I remember when I read, I'm doing this because I want to go to heaven. And that's what was so unbelievable to me.
Yeah.
That he wrote that. And I remember that day. It was this Saturday. We were here in the house the Wednesday before he passed away. And it was on Saturday that we found that in a book.
Yep. Right here.
Right here.
Yep.
It was, yeah.
There he wrote.
Amazing.
So what do you think he would be telling us right now in this? We're here.
I know what he's telling me right now. I'm so proud of you. He's telling it to me right now. I know it. He wants us to be happy. He's happy. He's at peace. He has no more pain in his body. He's at peace. And I know he's proud of us.
Yeah. Tell us about the Fentanyl Awareness Weekend that was in Washington, D.C.
Oh, wow. It was, I went there on my own. I was supposed to be going with somebody. It didn't work out, but I even though I was really nervous about going alone, I knew I had an instant family. Parents that lose children. We are a club nobody wants to belong to, but we know what we're going through. We know what each other is going through. And it was so powerful for me to meet these women. I met and sat mostly with women there, but there were plenty of dads there, and I did sit with some of them at the opening night. And we're all just hurting. It's not something you get over. It's not anything that you move on from. it's something that is always going to be there. The fact that you lost your child, I don't think there's a day ever that goes by that I don't think about. Sean and I know they feel the same way, and everybody's trying to figure out their place in getting awareness out. So the rally was because of the shutdown, the government shutdown. The woman that runs the rally, April Bangkok. Oh boy, I'm messing up her name. Babcock. Thank you. She had a pivot. And listen, this is a grieving mom. And she had a pivot. This was the 4th annual Lost Voices of Fentanyl. You can look that up and find information about it. But because of this group and the contribution and the pressure that's put on the government and the partners that April has formed, there's finally things getting done there. And when I heard about all the things that President Trump has done around drugs, and I know he is because I see it every day in the media, I see television commercials, I read about the different legislation that's happening. This is big for us for children, parents that lost children. The drug war is huge for us.
Absolutely. It means it's a tremendous, we get a sense of pride about what this country is doing in the drug war today.
Absolutely.
I want you to tell the audience and speak into the camera about what you're doing now, what your project is, and what you're trying to bring life to with the electronic billboard project that you're embarking on. And maybe there's someone out there that might hear this, listen to this, that can help you move that project along.
Can I look at you instead of the camera?
Look at me. Absolutely. Sure.
So this started out as a billboard project. I didn't know, being so new to this, I didn't know that there are so many projects that are being done around the country around billboards. And I had a conversation with somebody in the billboard world, and he mentioned digital billboards to me. And then I thought about, well, that sounds like an idea instead of just a still billboard. I could be in various places at one time. And then I thought, well, sports stadiums reaches 50, 60,000 people in one shot. And I have a billboard that I did with Sean's picture on it. And it's basically pills kill. It's not just about fentanyl anymore. It is fentanyl, but it's also pills, because the cartels are pivoting to anything that they can introduce into our world, into the kids here in the United States. They just want to, it's like war.
It's a synthetic to get them high and to get them more addicted and to have them. And,
Right.
And I don't know what the names of them are, and I've heard them.
There are a lot of names that I don't even know. I have them written down somewhere, but it wouldn't even matter. All you need to know is that
Pills kill.
Pills kill.
Yeah.
And what I learned at the rally, I heard so many stories about kids ranging from 14 to, our son was 47, and beyond, because the kids that got up to speak about losing their parents and that their grandparents are raising them, and how their parents will never see them at prom, and their parents will never see them have a baby, and their parents will never be there for them the way they're supposed to be. It just was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
So it affects everybody. And I think almost everybody knows somebody that has lost somebody to fentanyl. And what's happening now, it's pills. Okay. So let's say there's somebody in their 30s, 40s, 20s, whatever it is, at a party, and they want to have a buzz of some sort. Well, if somebody's got a pill, hey, I have these for you. These kids don't ask, where did you get it from? Is it a prescription? They may even say it is a prescription, or they may just take it, and they have no idea that they're going to die.
Yeah. And so many do.
We lost 72,000 kids or people just this past year.
Yeah.
And it's the millions. It's mind blowing. Mind blowing. So we talk about that at the rally.
I want to I want to pivot a little bit
Sure.
and talk about not only, I mean, we're going through life right now, rebuilding our life after the most devastating loss, which is the loss of a child. And we're figuring out how to do that. And we've dealt with losses in other ways. In 2009, when I had to go into bankruptcy and come out in 2013 and 2012 or whatever it was. And so you've experienced with me the massive highs, creating massive wealth, loss of everything we've owned, building it back up again, loss of a child. What is it? What do you think it is that allowed us to keep doing that, to keep the strength? What gave you the strength to stay with me, to be with me, to be in this relationship? What gives us the strength? What do you think that is? What would you say to somebody today?
First of all, it wasn't easy. So if anybody thinks like, oh, it sounded like, wow, they really came out of this. No problem. No, we actually divorced. The stressors were really, really bad. And so for various reasons that we ended up separating. The problem you and I had is we couldn't seem to stay apart. I think there was that level of love and commitment and just needing our own space for a while that we were able to give each other. And I don't think having another relationship was something either one of us wanted. I certainly was not interested in moving on. I was trying to figure out how to move forward with you. It was tough. I think commitment, taking my vows very serious. I used to imagine what it would be like if, as a divorced couple, I would go to our kids' house and you'd be there with a girlfriend. And it was not something I really thought I would deal well with. I know you since I'm 16. Yeah. You're a year and a half younger than me.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't deal with the thought of that. And I didn't want to. So we were able to get through it. It was hard. How I look at it now, see, it's real easy to go and look back on it all. And knowing the things I know now is that life is about challenges. It is not about it being smooth. It's what I love about your program. If I would have had those tools, if I would have known then what I know now, I had divorced parents. I didn't like my mother was remarried really, really quickly when they got divorced. I had a stepfather I couldn't stand and didn't get along with. I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
I was a lost soul. And then I met you. I had a family. My mother married well, so I lived really well. I met you and you basically had nothing. You worked for everything you had. You were the only boy I knew that had money to take me out for dinner the way you used to. And yet you had a family that was really basically poor. You were 6 kids living in a 3-bedroom house with your parents and, 3 of them were out of the house, but it was a tiny little house. It was crazy to me, but you had life in your house. You had Shabbat dinner every Friday night, your family had, and cousins and people would come over and there was love. And I didn't have that. And I found that was more important to me than all the wealth in the world. And so there was a lot of good. There was really a lot of good. And looking back, we learned a lot. We We plowed through all the difficulties. It wasn't easy. It never felt easy when we were in the thick of it. It felt really horrible. And but I know that I would not be where I am today, and we would not be where we are today if we just gave up and we didn't move through it. It's really kind of like being successful at walking through, what's that, the mud that you sink into?
Quicksand?
Quicksand.
Yeah.
Kind of like most people don't get out of that.
Right.
Somehow it's kind of like we walk.
Well, it's putting
quicksand.
one foot in front of the other, taking it step by step, accepting. For me, what I've learned is just to learn to accept where we are. I can't change that.
Right.
I can't change the circumstances that life served up for me. But what I can do is change the next step.
Right.
I can look at and react to what life serves up with purpose and with commitment and with challenge. And so I think that's what gets me through, is understanding that I can't change that Sean passed. Can't do it. Nothing I do will change that.
Yeah.
But what I could do is what I'm going to do with that and turn it into power, turn it into strength, turn it into this.
Well, you asked me about my
message.
billboard project.
Yes.
And so I reached out to somebody who said that probably getting into stadiums right now would not be the most realistic thing in the world for me to do. But what about social media? And all I could think about was the day that I found out that Sean passed away. And I say passed away, and I use the word transition as well when it comes to Sean, because I don't like the word die. I don't use that word die because I feel like I have connection with Sean.
Well, yeah, because his soul, we believe, and I know you believe the same way,
that our souls are they don't die.
Right.
That we are a vessel, our souls don't die. And I've had too much connection with him.
Yeah.
And too many crazy stories that there's no explanation for.
Right. Absolutely.
Right?
That our souls are alive.
So I came to the night that I found out, when Joey called me and told me that he was gone and that I was in Mexico, and that guttural scream that everybody at the rally, the moms, would describe, and just having this like pills kill or something. It's like somebody needs to get out there. We need more social awareness around this. We need to appeal to a lot of kids, adults. I'm not on TikTok, but maybe I need to, and maybe I need to scream on TikTok. I don't know what it's going to look like. It's unfolding, and I would love somebody that's in this world to contact me, and I'm open to.
There'll be a million people that will want to help you with social media.
I would love that. I would love that, because we are not doing enough. Yeah. We're just not bringing awareness, and it's not just to the kids. There'll be people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. Right. It's all over.
If today's conversation inspires you, please like it, share it, and subscribe. Share. I don't know. What's coming to my mind is share how you go day to day, how you move through life day to day right now after this loss. And so maybe I may have asked you that question already, but that's what's coming up for me. Okay. Well, share how you do that.
I have a really strong belief that Sean is with me. I could feel when he's with me. I would say that I wake up every morning, I put on Sean's sweatshirt that I have. Most mornings I kiss his picture, good morning, or I'm talking to him. My mornings are a little dreadful until I have my coffee and I start talking to you. We sit down and we start talking. Some days are really bad. Some mornings are really bad. Yeah. When I'm distracted and I'm out in the world, it's a lot easier for me. When I'm by myself, it's harder. But I try to stay busy. I'm trying to find a purpose right now, and the billboards, that project, or social media, or whatever, I'm making little steps here and there, and I'm meeting people, and so I have a lot of faith that something will come together. But I'd be lying if I didn't say that every day wasn't hard. And I give myself grace to mourn. It's not even a year. How do I get through life? I just do. I have three other children. I have grandchildren. I want to watch them grow up. I want to be there for them. I don't want to be a basket case. I don't want to be an alcoholic. I don't want to become all these things I hear other people become. I want to enjoy my life. And I do when I'm with friends and when I'm out, and when we go out, I have a good time. I can forget for a few minutes. I could forget for a few hours, but it's not an easy, it's the worst thing that you'll ever have happen in your life.
Yeah, for sure.
And,
I hold on to, for me, what makes it, palatable and what is the connection that I have with Sean today. Very different than the connection that we've had with him when he was alive, obviously. I mean, he was physically here, you're fresh and bud, and you can talk to him, you can sit and whatever. And now the connection is almost at will. It's almost like at will. I can sit down and have a conversation through the written word for me. It comes through that way more. And it'll come to me sometimes when he'll come and talk to me when I'm driving in the car as well. So when I can't write. And so it's a beautiful connection. And the words that, we heard from Moana is, together still just a little different. It holds so true.
Yes.
For me. And it's what carries me. It's what gives me the power to keep moving forward. I have another question, and it's a pivot again. When I talk about building dreams together, the words building dreams together, what does that mean to you?
What comes to my mind is how lit up you get when you watch other people change and transform through their conversations with you, how you have moved them and moved the needle for them to have what they want in their lives and to give them just happiness. And I remember when you told me the story about the two young girls and their dad, and they were at a race, and something came up and they said, what would Papa Jack say?
Yeah.
And how you lit up, how that just moved you. Yeah. Because for you, it's building dreams. It's other people building their dreams, but building dreams together means you get a front row seat. And really, for me, building dreams is watching you light up. Makes me so happy to see that you make such a difference in people's lives. You're really good at what you do. I've been with you for a long time, and you've been doing a lot of, at 30 years, 29, late 20s is when we started this journey of LifeSpring.
Oh, LifeSpring was in mid-20s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And from there, we did things together, but you did, your voracious reading and you jumped in. You've been meditating forever. You've been journaling forever. I didn't do all those things. I always try, and then I stop, and then I try, and then I stop, and it's
a journey. It's a journey, and I've been through it where I do it consistently for months and months at a time, and then I lay off for a week or two or three. It happens. Sometimes it happens. Yeah, but I wish I could say it's been 100% consistent, but it's consistent in my life.
But I've watched the transformation you went through. I've watched the transformation over the years that you went through. I watched the period of time when you swore you would never talk about another human being in any kind of a gossip form, where we used to be able to talk to each other, like couples do and people do about something. And you always found the good in that person. And I was like, who are you? I can't even talk to you about gossipy. And you really kind of got me to see, there's another way to do this. This is not okay. What you put out into the air, into the space, You know, it doesn't go away.
It's part of what I believe is the law of attraction. What you put out, you get back. It's a reverberation. You send out these things. That's all part of the program, and you know that.
Yes, I do know that. And the negativity, and I have to say that I didn't always live that. You know, you're with a girlfriend, you want to talk maybe a little bit about somebody, but over the years I started feeling worse about that, and I stopped. I didn't want to talk about people. I just felt bad. But since Sean passed away, I've done this really deep dive into the other side and really understood that we are all here as souls having a human experience. And I see people in a very, very different way now. And I give everybody so much more grace than I ever have in my entire life to screw up and do whatever and know that I don't have to take it personal. Yeah. I don't have to judge it. They have to learn what they have to learn. And I have choices. I have free will over what I do with that. And it feels so good not to live in judgment, not to live in negativity, because I don't anymore. Yeah. And so that's the gift.
Free.
That's the gift Sean gave me. Even though you've been trying to tell me this for years, it took my son to pass away and for me to do this deep dive to learn really what we're here on earth to learn. And so
that's another gift.
It's a gift, you know. It's a gift I wish I didn't have. I wish I was still gossiping.
I know. And you know that I always, through every tragedy, through everything that we experience in loss and what we see in the world in loss, what was one thing I always said to you? Do you remember?
No.
A gift is going to come from this.
Yeah. You wouldn't say that.
Something good will happen from this bad place.
That's right.
Something good. We just don't know what it is yet. But something will uncover, something will expose itself, something will.
And it may not have always felt good, but it was a pivot. It was always a pivot at some point. Yeah. And we just had to take those steps and recognize it and move, take action and move.
We'll be doing other podcasts together and talking about other subjects together. And as I wrap this one up, I want to ask you a question. If you can have just one message for younger couples to share about belief, love, resilience, building a life together, building dreams together, what's the one message?
I would tell you to go back to when you first met. Why did you fall in love with that person? What was there, you know, before the messiness of life happened, before all the kids and the distractions and whatever? What is your end game? You know, like, is it to be together really? You know, yes, it was, because you would not have gotten married, or at least gotten together if you're not married, but you've been together, you've had children, or whatever it looks like. I think there was a lot of commitment that both of us had towards our relationship at times when I didn't know that we would make it. I think there was a lot of commitment, a lot of willingness to swallow a lot of things. And to really we did marriage counseling. Yeah. And it really never worked that well.
So we've learned a lot. We've learned a lot. We're still here together. We're doing this together. We're still here.
We didn't always practice a lot of what they told us to practice.
Not all the time.
We weren't great. We would always come out of it, but somehow we pulled it off. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, and I'll tell you the one thing that maybe young people don't realize that I could at this stage of my life say to them is that there is nothing better than having somebody who is a witness to your life. And that's what you are for me, and that is who I am for you. For sure. I have witnessed more than 50 years of your life. You have witnessed mine. And we've been through the ups and downs. And unless you were a violent person, that I would not be a relationship I would stay in. If you were a violent person, an abusive person, that would be a whole nother story for me. But that's not who you are. And for anybody else that's not going through that sort of a relationship, I would say you need to stick it out and just go through the ups and downs. You don't know what you're going to trade into, but you know what you have. Yeah. And It's probably not as bad as you think.
Okay, last question, I promise, and then we'll end this.
Okay.
Okay. You're looking at a child, your grandchild.
Yeah.
Or any child that's going through whatever kind of turmoil in their own mind, in their own head, in their life. What's happening for them? What do you want to say to them?
First of all, for everybody is to trust your journey. That the things that you're going through are the things you're supposed to go through. It's what you came back to this life to accomplish. That me saying to somebody, it will get better. I know it will, but I don't know that when you're in a turmoil, in a really bad place, that those are the words that they need to hear. But I would tell them that they have people around them that will always be there for them, that they need to talk to them, open up. There's nothing that you should have to keep inside if it's creating that much turmoil inside of you.
Yeah, that resonates with me, being a child that held so much in from my childhood until I was in my 30s. So yeah, that resonates deeply. That's a great message. Totally resonates with me. And I'll just add that, yeah, trust your journey and this too shall pass was something my mom said. So with that, Mary, thank you for joining me on this journey.
Thank you for
here
having me.
at our Building Dreams Together podcast, and we will have many other conversations in the future.
I'm going to look forward to that.
Thanks for joining me today on Building Dreams Together. If today's conversation inspired you, like it, subscribe, and share it with someone you love. Let's keep building connection and possibility, one dream at a time. To learn more about our work and our programs, visit BelieveBecomeBU.com. Until the next time, keep believing, keep becoming, and let's keep building our dreams together.